Okay, for this project I'm using a size G 4.25 millimeter crochet hook, and I'm using Red Heart Super Saver, and I'm using Caron Simply Soft, two different kinds, but you can use whatever kind of 4-ply yarn that you want, it's fine. And I started with a chain of 37, and you need to start with that number for the Catherine rule to work out. And if you want to make it bigger or smaller, the Catherine wheel needs to be done in the multiple of 10 plus 6 plus one more for the base chain. And I hope that makes it, I hope you understand that. But, so I started with 37. Now what you want to do is we're going to do one single crochet and the second stitch from the hook. And then we're going to go to the next stitch and do a single crochet. Like that. Now I'm going to skip the next 3 stitches. Skip, skip, skip. And I'm going to do 7 double crochets in the next stitch. So skip 3, and then we'll do 7 doubles in the next. So 1, 2, 3, oh, 4, 5, 6, and 7, all in the same stitch. Now we're going to skip 3 again, but you want to kind of pull these 7 back because sometimes one of the stitches gets hidden under there and you don't want to miss it, otherwise it's going to throw your count off. So skip 3, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. So skip 3, 1, 2, 3, and then single crochet 1 in each of the next 3. So there's 1 in that one, 1 in the next, and 1 in the next. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to be repeating what we just did. So now we want to skip 3 again. Skip, skip, skip. And we're going to do 7 double crochet in the next stitch after we skip 3. 1, 2, oh, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then pull this whole whatever you want to call it, fan stitch back so you can see the stitches, because we don't want to miss any. We want to skip 3 again. Skip 3, and then we'll do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Skip 3 and 7 double crochet in the next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then we're going to skip the next 3 again. 2, 3, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3. 1, 2, 3, and then you should have 4 stitches left, so you want to skip 3, and in the last stitch we're just going to do 4 double crochets in this last, so it's kind of like doing a half of a fan stitch that we've been doing here. So do 4 doubles in the last stitch. We're going to switch colors on this round, so go ahead and do 4. It's 2, 3, and then on this last one we're going to switch colors on the 4th one. So I'm going to go in, yarn over, and go through the first 2 loops on my hook, and I'm going to switch colors here. And I'm just going to grab my new color and pull it through the last 2 loops, like that. And I always like just to tie a little knot in it. And then at the end of my project, just a loose knot, at the end of my project I'll take the knot out and then weave in my tail. But just so while I'm working it doesn't slip away from me. Like that. And I know some people don't clip their yarn, they just carry it up with them. I'm going to clip it off. And if you want to, you don't have to. You can just carry it up and start fresh with it when you get to it. But I like to clip it and then just start over with it. So, okay, so I got my old yarn clipped, my new yarn on. Now what I want to do is chain 1, turn my work, and then I'm going to put a single crochet in this very first stitch, single crochet into the next stitch, and now I want to, right now this is going to start the repeat that I'm going to be doing. I'm going to do a chain 3, and now I'm going to do a cluster stitch over 7 stitches, and I'll show you what that is. We just chain 3, so now we're going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2 loops, yarn over, go into the next stitch, drop a loop, yarn over and go through the first 2. So I want to do this over 7 stitches. Yarn over into the next, drop a loop, yarn over, go through the first 2. Do this 7 times. Okay, and you can count and see I did it 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which would make me have a total of 8 loops on my hook. And then I want to yarn over and go through all the loops on my hook at the same time, like that. And then I'm going to do a chain 3. The first one is going to kind of lock that one in place, and then 2, 3. And then I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So there's 1, 2, 3. And then I want to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then I want to do the cluster stitch over the next 7 again. So I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go through, drop a loop, go through the first 2, and I want to do that over 7 stitches. Okay, 7 times, 8 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through all of them at once. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, 3, cluster stitch over the next 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 loops on my hook, yarn over and go through all of them. Chain 3, 1, 2, 3, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then right here at the end we're going to do a cluster over 4 stitches here. So it's kind of like doing a half a cluster. So I'm going to do it over the next 4. 1, 2, 3, and go into this one right here. 4, and that'll make you have 5 loops on your hook. Yarn over and go through all of them like that. And then we're going to do a chain 3 and turn. Okay. Now I'm going to use the same color again. I'm not going to switch colors. I'm going to switch colors next round. So I want to go ahead and I'm going to do 3 doubles now into the first stitch. So counting this chain 3, it's like having 4. So it's like having a half a. So right in this one right here, 3 doubles. 1, 2, 3, like that. And then I'm going to skip this little chain space here. I'm going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. So skip these, and 1, 2, 3, skip the chain 3 space again, and then right here in the center little eye part of the this cluster stitch, we're going to do 7 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip this chain space and we'll put 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, and 3. And we're just going to be repeating this. So now we're going to do 7 doubles in the little center of the eye of this cluster stitch. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, skip this chain space, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3, 1, 2, 3, 7 double crochets in the center of the eye of this cluster stitch, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Seven, and then skip this space, and we're going to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 2 stitches, like that. I'm going to actually, that's what it's starting to look like right now, and I'm going to switch colors again now. I'm going to go back to my other color. If you want to use a different, you can use as many colors as you want. So I should have switched colors right here. In this last single crochet that we do, go into it, but don't pull your old color through. Pull your new color through. Like that. And like I said, I put a little knot in it. And I remove these knots when I'm done. I take them out and then I weave my tails in. It's just easier to have a little knot, a little loose knot, so it doesn't slip away while you're working. Like that. Okay, I got my new color going. Now I'm going to do a chain 3 with my new color. And then I'm going to turn my work like that. Now I want to skip this very first stitch, so skip that, and I'm going to do a cluster stitch over 3. So skipping that first one, I'm going to yarn over and go into the next stitch, draw up a loop, yarn over through the first 2, and we're going to do that 3 times. Yarn over and go through the 4 loops that are on your hook. Chain 3, and then I want to do 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and now I'm going to do a cluster stitch over the next 7 stitches. So yarn over, go in the next stitch, drop a loop, go through the first 2. So I want to do that 7 times. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then I'll have 8 loops. Yarn over and go through all of them, and then I'm going to do a chain 3. 1, 2, 3, 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3, and then I'm going to do a chain 3, and then a cluster over the next 7 stitches down here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over and go through all 8 loops, chain 3, 1 single crochet over each of the next 3 stitches, 1, 2, 3, chain 3, and then a cluster over the next 7, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yarn over and go through all 8 loops, chain 3, and then we're at the end here. What we want to do is 1 single crochet into this last stitch here, and then we want to do 1 single crochet into the turn chain right. It's going to be kind of hard to see, but it's right here, so right in the top of it. So go right into the top of it like that, and single crochet like that. Okay, now we want to do a chain 1 and turn our work, and then we're going to do a single crochet in this very first stitch, and then 1 in the very next one. So single crochet there and in the next, and then we're going to skip this whole space right here, and we're going to do 7 double crochets through the center eye of this cluster. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7. Skip this whole chain space right here, and then 1 single crochet in each of the next 3 stitches. One, 2, 3, and we're gonna skip this space here and be working in the eye of this cluster stitch, and we'll do 7 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Skip these, 1 single crochet in each of these 3 stitches. 1, 2, 3. Skip this space here, 7 doubles in the eye of that cluster. 1, and I got a big knot in my yarn. Sorry. 7. Skip this whole space. 1 single crochet in each of these 3 single crochets. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to skip this space here, and we'll do 4 double crochet in the top of this turn chain here. So, 1, 2, 3. I don't think I got the top of that turn. Let me do that again. Sorry. Right here in the top chain of that right here. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, and then I want to switch colors on this last double crochet. So I'm gonna clip this one off and start my new color, pull it through. Like that, and let me tie a little knot back here. Now the rest of this stitch is going to be just repeating. What you want to do now is we're just going to be repeating these from this row up. So rows 2 through 4 is just a repeat. So right now I'm going to be starting back on this second row. So the best thing to do is, even after all this time I've been doing the Catherine wheel, it's one of the only stitches I actually have to go look it up every time and write it down, and then I follow what I've written down as I go. I don't know why, I just always, it's one stitch I can never remember without having to write it down. So if I were you, I would just go back and see, I just write it down as I go. That way I can just follow along. And now I know that I'm going to be starting over at row 2, and that's what you want to do. You just want to, we're going to be starting at row 2 again, 3, 4, and 2, 3, 4, and 5. Then you start over and do it again. So it's just a repeat of these rows right here. So the best thing to do is just be write it down. Unless you got a good memory, you can remember, but I don't. So I'm just going to keep working for a while until I get bigger. And I'll let you know how many total rows that I do. I went ahead and finished as big as I wanted mine to be, and I did 11 rows of the whole circles, and then I didn't, then this half circle row counts, makes 12. So now I want to sew it together. Now both sides look pretty good to me. They look a little different, but you can pick which side you want to be the front of your bag and which one you don't. It's up to you. Whatever one looks good to you. But I'm going to sew it wrong side out, and then when I flip it, I want to sew it with the side that I don't want to see facing out right now, and then I'm going to flip it inside out after I'm done sewing it together. So I'm going to sew it together kind of like that. So you get it how you want it, however big you want your flap and everything. And then you line it up here. I'm going to put a pin to hold each side down. Once I get it straight. And remember, I'm going to sew it up on the sides, and then I'm going to flip it inside out. So this is the side that I don't want to see. Okay, I'm going to start with a slip knot on my hook. And my needle. And I'm just going to go along the sides, sewing it together. I'm going to sew it together using single crochet. You can use slip stitch if you want, it's really up to you. But I'm going to start up here, I'm going to work my way down, and then when I get to here, so just kind of start up in the corner with that slip knot that's on your hook. And now I'm going to go in every stitch doing a single crochet. And you just kind of do your best to guess where the stitches are. Just kind of evenly space them, because you can't see them that well when you're working on the sides of these stitches. So I'm just going to work my way down, kind of trying to hide this tail as I go too. I don't really like working with smaller needles like this. I like to work with bigger needles. It's harder for me to do it, but okay, I'm coming up to where I'm going to start sewing my two pieces together, and I'm just going to be using single crochet, but now I'm just going to grab a stitch on each piece and single crochet like that, and then single crochet, and I'm going to do this all the way down. That way when I flip it inside out, you won't be able to see the seam that well. So I'm just going to keep doing this, sewing both pieces together until I get down here to the bottom, and then that's where I'll just tie off, and then I'll start again on the opposite side, getting it sewed together too. Got it sewed together, and I flipped it right side out, and that's what I got so far. And you can be done if you want, but I'm gonna add a flower on it. I'm gonna set it to the side for now. I can show you how to do that if you want. Okay, I'm gonna start with the slip knot, and I'm gonna use a bigger needle for the flower. I jumped up to a size 6mm instead of 4.25. Okay, I want to start with a chain of 4, and then I'm going to slip stitch into the first stitch to form a ring, like that. Now I want to chain 1. Okay, I'm going to go back into the center of the ring and single crochet. Then I'm going to do a chain 2. Go back into the center of the ring, single crochet, chain 2, go back into the center, single crochet, chain 2, and I'm going to do that a total of 6 times, so I'll have 6 chain 2 spaces. Chain 2, single crochet in the center, chain 2, let's see, I got 1, 2, 3, 4. I gotta do one more. Okay, and here's my last chain 2. That was my 6th single crochet, and this is my last chain 2. Now I want to slip stitch into the first single crochet, and now I'm going to switch colors here because I just wanted the center to be yellow. So I'm going to tie off like that, and I'm just going to go ahead and weave my tail in here so it's out of the way. Easier to work with that way. Just in the back, weave it in. That way I can clip it off. Well, okay, you should have 6 chain 2 spaces. So I'm going to start with a new color and with a slip knot on my hook. And I'm going to start inside one of the chain 2 spaces, and I'm just going to go ahead and go through the slip knot that's on my hook to start with. Okay, now I'm going to do a chain 1, and that chain 1 is going to count as a single crochet. So now I'm going to go and do 1, 3 double crochet in the same spot, and then I'm going to do a single crochet in the same spot, and then I'm going to jump over to the next chain 2 space and slip stitch into it, and then I want to do a single crochet in it, 3 doubles, and another single crochet. That's my 3 doubles, and then one more single crochet. Then I'm going to jump over to the next spot, next chain 2 spot, and slip stitch. Then I'm going to do a single crochet, 3 double crochets, and then a single crochet. Now I'm going to jump over to the next spot, slip stitch, single crochet, 3 double crochets, single crochet, all in the same spot. Now we're going to jump over to the next chain 2 spot and slip stitch, single crochet, 3 doubles, and single, and then I have one more chain 2 spot, jump over to it, slip stitch, single crochet, 3 doubles, single, and then I'm going to slip stitch over here into the next spot to close it off. And I'm going to pull a long tail so I can sew it on with. Like that. So I'm going to bring it over here and sew it on. I think I'm going to make a couple more of these though, real quick. But you know, you don't even have to make these if you don't want. You can make one. You can make a whole bunch, or even make a different flower if you want. But I'm going to go ahead and make a couple more of these. I'm going to show you how to make these leaves too, if you want to make them. I started with a chain of 8, and I'm still using my big 6mm needle. I'm going to single crochet in the second stitch from the hook, and then I'm going to half double crochet in the next, half double crochet again. Now I'm going to do a double crochet in the next, a double crochet, and then another double crochet, and then in this last stitch down here I'm going to do 5 double crochets. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I'm just going to be working on this side of the chain now, and I want to go up to the next stitch. Here's where we put the 5, so I'm going to be going up to this one, I'm putting a double, and then a double in the next, and then a double in the next, and then a half double in the next 2 stitches. One there, one there, and then a single in the last, like that. Now I'm going to tie off a long tail. I'm going to pull it through. Now I'm going to take my, whenever you work on both sides of the chain like that, it starts to split open a little bit, so you can kind of see it. What I always do to kind of hide that a little bit, take my yarn needle and my long tail, and I will just hide my tail, weaving it kind of through that center to hide it just a little bit. So kind of makes the openings a little bit down the center where you can't see them that much. And I'm still going to leave this long tail on it so I can sew it on. And you can fix it up however you want if you're using this, or you can make more leaves or more flowers, but probably do it something like that. But so to sew it on, I'm just going to sew it on like this right through the top of my bag with my tails. And I'm just going to sew it on till I think that it's tight enough. You can line this bag at the end too if you want. And I'm going to take another one. You can just use your imagination. Just put them wherever you think they look good. That's kind of what I do. I don't really have no set way of doing it. Play with them a little bit, and just sew the flowers on the same way wherever you want to put them. So I'm going to go ahead and get my flowers sewed on. I got my flowers sewed on, and that's all I'm going to do. You can always put a button on it. I don't know if I'm going to put a button on it or not, but you could always use one of these chain 3 spaces as your buttonhole. Sew a button on. I might do that, I don't know. You can always put buttons in the center of your flowers. You know, you can just doll it up any way you want. I probably might sew this button on, just so I can. Yeah, I probably will. I'll just sew it underneath here, and then use this center chain 3 space. That's my buttonhole. But that's it. And if you guys make this bag, I'd love to see a picture of it on my Facebook page. See how you decorate it up. And if you have any questions for me, you can always ask me on Facebook, because if you ask me on YouTube, I usually don't get the messages. If you've asked me a question on YouTube and I haven't answered, I'm sorry. I mean to answer you. I don't always get messages from YouTube, so I don't know who's all ask me questions or not. But you can always ask me on my Facebook page. I always answer all of them. And don't forget to check out all my other tutorials. And until next time, have a good day.